Yes, we are rocking out. Welcome back. That was Love Talking, the latest single from Eli Young Band, a country group from way down in Texas. And today we have two members from the band joining us. Put your hands together for Mike, Eli, and John.
Yes. I am so happy to be talking to you guys, because I was kind of having this conversation the other day about love. I feel like the word love has gone from a lot of R&B songs, but not in country. Why do you think country songs still have a lot of love in the title?
It's one of those really just common themes that I think just it works for everybody. It's one of those things we can all relate to, and as songwriters, it's something you can like think about your first love. You can it's heartache. It's everything in between. It's the breakup song. It's the I'm in love now. I've been in love for a long time. Life is good. Love is just one of those things we can all it's one of those core values, and one of those things we can all just kind of latch onto, and it always works. It always works.
Here for it.
Definitely. Now, this is something I love, which is not only you guys, but the Dave Matthews Band. I go to concerts every single year. I go 3 times in a row. What was it like performing with Dave Matthews Band back in your early days? Was it fabulous? Was it intimidating? Talk to me.
Incredible. It was all of that, honestly. Dave, that was the first big tour we were ever on. We were just a regional band, hadn't really had much national success. And he brought us out for a string of shows, and he could not have been a nicer person, a better, we're huge fans, have been since before we started the band. And he introduced us to the crowd, ladies and gentlemen, the Eli Young Band. And then he stood there side stage for our entire set every single night, watching us, where the audience could see him. So it really just drew them in to say, these are guys that I want to bring on tour. You should give them your time. And that was like the coolest introduction into the bigger music scene for us.
How'd you feel about it, Mike? I mean, that's like DMB, dude. It's big. Wow. Yeah. What'd you think?
No, it was a big deal. I think that.
I'm sorry, I thought you guys were talking about Dave and Buster's. What did he say? It just hit me for a second. I have 3 kids. I'm sorry, that's where my head goes.
That's Al.
Sorry.
That's Al. Okay, go ahead.
Please continue.
Good job, Al.
No, me continue.
Yeah,
I'm going to sit in it.
Yeah. Obviously, Dave Matthews is an incredible artist, and sharing the stage with him was always a big deal. So way back then, it taught us a lot about continuing on that whole thing of being that kind of headlining artist that is good to the guys coming up that open up for you. So
yeah. Well, Mike, does the band ever have disagreements, like when writing a song? Who has the quote final say?
Ooh, Sam.
We were always really good at communicating. I think the reason that we've lasted 20 years was that we listened to each other, and we put our relationship at a priority. And no matter what we're trying to decide, whether it's the songs going on the record or the songs that go in the set list, we have a lot of respect for each other and a lot of love for each other. And so we put each other first versus our own opinions. And so it really has worked itself out in a way. I think the 4 of us can really kind of come to the same consensus pretty quickly after 20 years of being families.
Well, speaking of love, let's get to your new album, Love Talking. John, we heard your favorite song on the album was Break Up in a Bar. We got to know, is this based on a true story? Please tell.
It is not, but it's a wonderful idea. The whole song, it's kind of your, I don't know, little tongue-in-cheek, a country song, straight middle of the road, kind of clever, about all the advantages of breaking up in a bar. You're already where you're going to end up anyway. But it's kind of the bar is everything that you want after that breakup. It's your friends who are there to bring you back up. It's someone new to meet. It's the drink to settle you down. It's all that stuff. So I do not have any experience personally, but I love the sentiment of that song.
I think that you followed me through my 5 years at university. This was actually the theme song to my university romance story. So thank you for that.
Love it. And Mike, do you have a favorite song on the new album?
I wrote most of them, and so my connection is pretty deep to all of these songs. Love Talking is probably one of my favorites, but I think that there's also a song on there called Tell Me It Is that is that moment. Most of these songs were written in 2020 and the beginning of 2021, and that was obviously a very vulnerable and weird time for us of moving on into whatever was happening. And so Tell Me It Is was pretty personal. And so I'd have to say, though, between those two, but Love Talking is obviously, I think, an incredible pick for the first single. So
that's great. Breaking Up in a Bar, too, you dim lighting. You look good, I feel like.
Oh,
you look better.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, it depends how many drinks you've had.
That's very true.
Then you look great.
And then you look amazing. That's very true. How have you guys grown as a band with Love Talking compared just to some of your earlier albums?
We've been a band now for 21 years, which is just weird just to say out loud sometimes.
Yeah.
We're four guys that started in college in the dorms together, and we've experienced so much of our lives, over half of our lives together. And so we have a lot of experience to draw on, but also we've been playing music together for a long time, and I feel like that's all really come together in
Oh my
come
gosh.
together in a really great way. In the studio this time, it was just so easy, and we had missed playing together so much over this long COVID break that it was great to get back in the studio together. Mike wrote almost 100 songs, somewhere around there for us to pick from. So he was sending us songs, a couple songs a week over that whole time we weren't playing music live. So we had a huge bucket of songs to pick from, and it was just a great feeling to be back in the studio.
I love that.
That's a good title, Bucket of Songs, for your next.
I was thinking it'd be a good song called 100 Songs.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
congratulations.
We'll work on it.
It is a good idea.
It is.
All right.
Thank
guys
you.
are trying to play me.
Both Mike and John, thank you so much for chatting with us. Be sure to get their new album, Love Talking, out on June 3rd.
So cute.
We appreciate you guys. Congrats. We'll be right back.
It's better than Bucket of Songs.
I think Bucket of Songs sounds really
I like
good.
100 songs.